like the YouTube's a lot more dramatic. Wow. Oh, okay. It's there. Awesome sauce. Hola, hola. Test video number 11. Okay. So we're second test. We have some other stuff to test, and the streams look good. And I got more stuff to sculpt. So hello, hello, hello. It's just Dave right now, I think, but we are here and working. There's some people showing up. Heidi ho. We're going to be testing stuff on the stream as well as me trying to finish this monogram. If anyone's out there, tell me if sound's okay. Is my voice coming across okay? Is everything good? Dave. What you doing? What you doing? Where's that?
He's up in north side somewhere, but
It just never ends, does it?
trying to be tough.
It's funny. It's funny. Saturday night crowd's hard. Everyone comes in and leaves. It's like, I don't have boobs or alcohol. Saturday night's fucked for people. They're just like, fuck you, dude. Show us some boobs or you're out. There's 7,000 people watching someone dance around on Dance Dance Revolution, though. Damn it. Dance Dance Revolution, Dave. What are we doing wrong, yo? 10,274 people watching Maximilian Dude play Mortal Kombat 3. That's impressive. Oh. So let's look. Does that work? That works. That works. That works. That works. Alright. Palma! How we doing? I tell you what, it's hard crowd on Saturday nights, man. People come to the room, stay like 30 seconds and bail because they're like, I know, I'm not very excited. This is a good track. Not bad. Trying to get all my stream settings sorted out and get them working, and so got my stuff programmed in my stream deck so I can get views change and stuff, so I can, like, you know, if I want to show you something, I can go here, and it's like, the lag's killing me. Okay, you know, I'm like, oh, here, look. Shit, fuck it. I think you have an idea what I'm saying. And like, show the printer setup, and then no, damn it, Jim. There you go. And that's a close-up on the printer. Shit like that. Hold on, does this work? No, that didn't work at all, did it? Yeah, trying to get, well, once I start doing this stuff with the education thing, I want to be able to show things close as well. So, you know, get, make it a little easier for people to get involved and convey information easily and, you know, all that crap. So what are you up to? Yeah, it's a Nikon 850D or D850, so it's like a 42 megapixel camera. So cam quality better be good. Mic is a bit quiet. It's turned all the way up there. That was because it was turned off. I don't know what mic you're getting. One sec, let me figure this out. Dave, why are we getting something's turned on? That's why. Oh, my speakers are turned on. There, my mic's on. How's that? Maybe that was a reason that no one wanted to talk, because they couldn't hear me. Is that better? Oh, well, that's awesome that you've been getting work, though. I mean, that's good. I turned my mic off while I was listening to my speakers. I forgot to turn it back on. All right, there we go. My mic wasn't working because, oh, guess what? It wasn't turned on. So what mic were they listening through? Oh, maybe that's our feedback problem.
There's two mics going because you have two cameras going.
Yeah, but I think I have the normally I have the, we hid those damn things. Open advanced audio. Hold on. No, nothing else is audio input capture.
This is, yeah. These are,
whatever this is. That needs to go away.
Yep.
These are the same thing. I think this was.
Whoa, that could be too.
No.
And then.
No.
Yeah.
Monitor and out. This is the. Remember we rebuilt it. So that was on, and I bet that's this camera right here. I'll make. Maybe it might have been one of those, but something else was on, because if they were hearing me at all, something else was on. Interesting. Okay. Is the sound good now? Are there no echoes? Are we had an echo earlier, but we couldn't figure out what was going on. You got to make sure that all of your other input devices are closed. No one's, okay, great, good. Yep, that's what happened. We had another device on. Damn it. I hate being stupid. Pork and the pooch. how does this fit? How in God's name is this on the same radio channel or same channel? Who are you? Repose. What the hell? How is repose on here? I swear to God, man. Whoever does like the little shuffle thing is an idiot, I think. Okay. We're gonna do that. Now we go back. Why isn't it giving me medicine radio? Is that okay? Oh, it's because I turned it completely up because they were... I know, it's really annoying, isn't it? Is that better? Can you tell? I turned it back down a little. I'm not redlining over here, so that should be... I know, I mean, it's like whoever decided those are the same genres, an idiot. That's all I know. There we go. You're just like, you know, here, you'll like this. And it's like, no, not really. No, actually, I don't like that. Well, I might like it in a different context, but, you know, I find that acid crunk is really good to work to. Because it's nice, has good fat beats, but it's not just like, blah. That's okay? We're killing it? Awesome. All it took was to realize that we had some other thing open. Damn it, Jim. Damn it, Jim. I'm just a doctor. I'm not a sound engineer. It's great. Antennae is a DJ producer. It's like out of Oakland, and it's sort of, what's this? You know, kind of trippy. It's not quite. It's like pokey dubstep, dub slide, and acid. I want to make ketamine crunk. K crunk. It's a lot of repeating tones. I don't know if I have heard of Lorne. Have you heard of Lorne? Well, let's see what Acid Rain has to say. Yeah, techno is really a K thing. It's really, especially like that deep floppy techno out of London. It was like totally K crunk. I'm a big fan of Tippers as well. He's like got that drippy, acidy sort of. I love me some psytrance, but not just sitting around working. It's a little too zwonk for just sitting and working. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Someone else to follow. Gotta love it. It's funny, I almost never listen to music when I'm working. I listen to books on tape. my OCD, my brain locks on the linear narrative, and it allows me to kind of. It's odd. It allows me to focus. It's weird. It keeps me out of loop reasoning. And sometimes, like if I'm just working alone where I'm not talking, music, I can get into feedback loops. But, you know, when I'm here talking and stuff, I don't. It's not an issue really. But yeah, my OCD thing has some issues. A little bit fatter line there. Oh yeah, no, I found a lot of this kind of stuff going was really. I did acid when I was 12, when I went to my first rave with my cousin. But yeah, I think really sort of this, like the acid crunk. Hold on, let me. Tipper, I don't know. Have you listened to Tipper? Yeah. Tipper's really like a nice, yeah. And then, but it was great because it changed my life. You know, it allowed me to kind of wrap my head around the universe a little better, I think. And then now I have to say I'm all about DMT. It's like I love my acid. Don't get me wrong, but I love K. I love DMT. Like my mushrooms. Like my LSD. I'm a tripper. I like. You know, whenever anything gets weird, you just do a tab, sit down, get the fire pit going, chill your head. I find it very positive. No, actually, I was maybe 19, 20, something like that when it was after I drowned, so but yeah, I find that DMT is like, my brain is really in tune with it, so I got a vaporizer, so I don't have to like just absolutely blast off. I can just like tune it in and stay there for a while, and it's nice. It's goodly. You know, these idiots all cracked up on coke and meth and shit, and it's just like, yeah, your fucking brain is toast, yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. That's the whole damn point. Nice thing about vaping is you can sit there and just get your little bit of breakthrough, a little bit of visuals, and you don't have to actually launch balls. So it's, I don't know. But pipe anxiety is a big deal with DMT. People are just like, oh, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. And the vaporizer just removes that completely. Well, it is ayahuasca. DMT is the active ingredient of ayahuasca, but ayahuasca is a heavy ride, especially if you're doing, you know, real medicinal doses. It's heavy, and I don't know if I'd really want to do ayahuasca without a real shaman around, because there's just something about someone who can really guide you through stuff. And because I mean, DMT can, but DMT's a short pop, where ayahuasca can take a long time. And you know, if you don't have someone there to hold your hand if shit gets weird, shit can get weird. I don't think the drug gives you anything you don't need, but I think that it can take you places you don't necessarily want to go. You might need to go there, but it don't mean you want to go there. And a shaman can really help you. And you know, there really is something to say about, you know, I mean, in Peru, you know, these dudes have been doing this for 2,000 years, literally 2,000 years. It was the first pharmaceutical. So it's like, you know, when you get the drum rhythms and the songs and the, you know, there's something to it, I think. I really do. Because I've done pharmawaska just in light doses. And, I mean, if you're going to do it, you got to do it where it's going to kick you in the face, or you're not learning anything, I don't think. I don't know. I'm a very strong advocate of psychotropics as medicine. You know, I mean, the days of, you know, who wants, okay, a key bump of ketamine can be fun at a club, but I mean, you know, it's far more entertaining to knock your balls down into Meat World, where you're just like, I mean, that's where the shit happens, you know. I like it. I like it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know if I've ever had a bad trip. I've definitely had trips I wish would stop. And then, you know, 16 hours later, they haven't. That's me. But yeah, you know, it's not like it was bad. It was just a wreck. You're just like, holy shit balls. I mean, they can be rough. Without a doubt. I think where people have bad trips are people who think at some point or another that they're going to have any input on how that trip is going. You know, if you think that you're going to change something or salvage it or push it, and they can, yeah. Not necessarily DMT, but DMT isn't that long, you know. But yeah, benzo will knock down shrooms and acid for sure. But I love people drink milk. No, that's not the answer. But you know, end of the day, I think everyone should do it. I mean, okay, there are, like I said, I mean, when I say everyone or all things or blah blah blah, you know, there are some people who are schizophrenic, and there are some people who, you know, have insane bipolar diseases or whatever. Yeah, maybe they shouldn't. I don't know enough about it. I mean, I've had as much chemical in my system as any other human on the planet has, I assure you, and I'll tell you, I've never wanted to jump off a cliff or anything like that. You know, it's like, I can fly. No. See, those are people who aren't doing enough because they can walk around. The key is dose yourself so hard you can't move, and then you're fine. You'll be great. It'll be great. I mean, I was a pretty well-adjusted, mentally fairly advanced kid, so it didn't. And honestly, the first time I did it, the people I did it with were, you know, pretty well informed, so I had a good explanation of what was going to happen. But I absolutely loved it. Oh my god. Well, I mean, you know, from 12 to 50, I obviously like it enough to keep doing it. It's the best. Yeah, no, it's like people do a mushroom cap and they're like, oh yeah, I feel it, it's coming on. You're like, no. Nope. Yeah, well, I mean, you have a lot of mimosa plants down there. You should be able to get, you can make DMT easily. Because the Australian mimosa trees have, I think they're like a 2.8% pull off the bark. They're a little less than the Mimosa hostilis from South America and around, but yeah, no, you should be able to get mimosa bark easily there. In fact, I don't even think mimosa is controlled there. The mimosa bark isn't controlled there, if I remember correctly. And DMT is easy to extract. Yeah, you know, I get what you're saying there, but as far as you know, their experience after usage, but I mean, you know, it's the same thing. It's like if you're having they're different trees, and the trees have different, like Mimosa hostilis is like the best bark to pull from. It has the highest percentages in it, but acacia has, you know, good percent. That's what I'm saying. It's like 2.3% if you're pulling the bark, as opposed to Mimosa hostilis. I think is like we're pulling about 3%. Still monogramming. I am. So it's technically, I think everything has DMT in it. Oh yeah, we did the Sonoran Desert Toad, which is the 5-MeO. I like it. I do. I like it, but it's not as negotiable. Well, we were doing pretty high doses too, but it's like a rougher ride, I think. Depending on how you're doing DMT too. For the most part, we just smoke chunga now. So it has the MAO inhibitor in it. Yeah, of course. I mean, we're talking primarily, like nice mature plants. But yeah, no, I mean, you can pretty consistently pull and wind up with a good yield. The nice thing about it is you just keep doing it. If you're getting persnickety about it. I mean, yeah, there's percentages for sure that change, but I find people who are harvesting bark for the most part are pretty apt at it. I mean, it's not, especially if it's coming from South America. I mean, at this point, they damn well know what they're doing for sure. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that we got bark from Australia at one point. So the people harvesting will definitely know. But, I mean, we get bark from all over the place, and for the most part, we're getting a pretty close to 3% yield on most of it. Yeah, but once again, if you're dealing with reputable bark dealers, like I said, we've ordered from all over the world, and for the most part, we've got 2.5 to 3% yield on most of our pools. I don't ever think we've ran into a bunk pool. Not while I've been there, at least. I love my sculpting channel has now become the DMT Nexus. Hold on, I need to see if Pixelogic is streaming me. That's all we need. Oh, they are hosting me. Oh well. Oops. But it's not like the DMT, or I mean the DMT alerts go off there. No, it's not like the hosting alerts go off. It's just people who randomly run into it. But that's funny. I'm like, oh. Jaime's gonna be like, Tomas, what the hell is wrong with you? This is Tipper, I think. Yeah. This is Tipper. Because you know how they have, if no one's streaming, they have auto hosting. And so I'm being auto-hosted on Pixelogic, so I got to remember that. But hey, whatever. It's my stream. At least I'm not talking about cock. Have you seen his cock? What's that? That's, well, if I were playing Dance Dance Revolution, I might have more viewers, right? Because I know that everybody wants to see me doing Dance Dance Revolution. Or whatever the new dance game is. Am I dating myself with Dance Dance Revolution? You're like, yeah, they stopped that game in 1978. Shit! Here I go again. Now, but I tell you, there's nothing more wonderful than a beautiful starry night, DMT in a hot tub. That, my friend, is heaven on earth. Don't get no better than that. I don't think there are going to be any surprises of me talking about DMT. I'm an outward advocate of hallucinogens, so yep. You know what? That's a tricky question, because I mean, DMT is unlike other hallucinogens for sure, and the tangible experiences are actually quite a bit different than even, you know, really heavy doses of other things. It has a unique character. And I would say that, you know, the characters are very unique as well. There's something different about it. As far as multiple dimensional travel and all of that, you know, I will say that I've had incredibly tangible experiences that are very hard to experientially say, you know, no, that didn't happen in reality. But who the hell knows? You know, I to be deadly honest, I don't think it's important. Because if you're trying to figure those things out, then you're missing what's going on in front of you. You know, and I think that it's just like black holes. You know, when I was a kid, black holes weren't real. They were sci-fi. There was a great movie called The Black Hole. And now we have photographs of them, you know? And I think that when we start using these compounds or these chemicals as they were intended for usage, and I do believe that these are medicinal no matter what, until you've seen post-traumatic stress disorder guys deal with ayahuasca, and you know, these things, they're very powerful medicines, you know. And I mean, I'm not just saying that to justify, oh, you know, I want to do my powerful medicine, but there's something there. There's something going on. And I think that we know so little about our brain and brain chemistry as is. I'd say that's a tricky... The problem is this, and why I'm really reticent about it, is that all of these new age raging dipshits who, you know, have to have words and have to be able to hug the tree to be, you know, spiritual, and that shit just gives me ulcers. And you know, it's like, I think that there are incredibly powerful, tangible experiences. And there are things that I by no means, in the reflection of what we consider reality, I've seen and experienced things that don't fit in, you know. And I mean, like shamans talking over a long distance and, you know, communicating and sharing trips with people over very long distances and things like that, that, you know, I mean, people can poo-poo off or whatever, but, you know, I was there, I know what happened, and, you know, you can poo-poo all you want. I don't have tangible explanations for that. But I don't really care about the explanation for it. You know, it was a tangible experience. You know, I know, right? No one talks to me for 6 hours. I mentioned DMT, and now I have viewers and people are talking to me. You know, I'm just very reticent to hop on board the poo-coo kachoo fucking, oh, you know, I'm talking to entities and they love me, and, you know, it's a new dimension, and you know what, I may actually believe every single one of those statements, and the other people who say them, and I don't believe for a second that they believe it, or if they do believe it, it's because literally they're just broken weirdos, you know. I mean, there's a class of ding dong out there that isn't using these experiences for, like I said, the medicinal. And when I mean medicinal, I mean, we know it works. I mean, they're now microdosing ketamine, they're now microdosing mushrooms, they're now microdosing LSD, and, you know, these are very tangible, powerful medicines. No, you talk to me all the time, comedian, and I don't yell at you. It's only when you talk about edge loops do I yell at you. And the fact that you're still watching some videos that you believe more than me that keeps telling you to use edge loops. And whoever that person is that you're watching those videos, he or she is an idiot. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And, you know, I think when real science is done on these things, as opposed to the science of fear, I think we're going to find out there's a whole hell of a lot going on there. You know, I think there's stuff that is pretty damn exciting. And, yeah, I don't know. And that's what I mean. I'm a little reticent about the whole, well, you know, is it this or is it that? Yeah, you know, the thing is we have no damn clue what it is. And that's the beauty of it right there. I love that we don't know. I mean, that makes me happier than hell, honestly. Because I think the reality is going to wind up being so much more bizarre than anything that we can think of. What did I... Oh, yeah, no, without a doubt. No, I did not know that Pongo was how they called hashish. Dude, that's funny. I'm like, I love Pongo, it's the best. Oh my god, that's funnier than hell, actually. Well, and that's it. I mean, well, the thing is we still don't know crap about the brain, let alone what these substances do. I really do think that, you know, I like the filter concept, you know, where it's like some of these chemicals strip away the filters that we naturally have up as defenses, you know. I mean, because let's face it, when people do and hear this on a regular basis, we call them schizophrenics, and they lose their minds and go into little rooms. So, you know, it's not... But I think that we're going to find out that, you know, these substances... I mean, because there was a really interesting... paper about Neanderthals, and when they found some of the first Neanderthal burials where they were buried with something, so it shows that there was a burial ritual. It wasn't just sort of getting rid of rotten meat. That they were buried with mushrooms and representations of mushrooms. And, you know, I could probably get behind the concept that, you know, our evolution of the mind started with psychotropes, you know. And because there is something about, you know, awarenesses that you... I think, without a doubt, I do. I do think that they have the capacity to enhance creativity, and not in the sense of, oh, I need, you know, hallucinogens to be creative, but they force your perspective to open up dramatically, you know. And I think that, yeah, I don't know. What? Yeah, yeah, without a doubt. And also, I think that a lot of the hallucinogens, and this is where people have bad trips, is that it's really about ego death. And man, a lot of people don't want to give that up. Yeah. No, I mean, you know, I think that, you know, I think that, well, we know that, you know, let's say 10,000 years ago, that people had the same brain capacity as they have today, right? I mean, the human brain hasn't changed that much. You know, 10,000 years ago, they had the same cognitive capacity as we have now. And, you know, let's face it, you didn't really have shit to do. When the sun goes down, man, it's dark. So you got fires, you got stories, and you got investigating the world around you, you know? And I think that being that in tune with the things going on around you, you know, I don't think the Mayans needed aliens to figure out our universe. It's, you know, I think that there were plenty of people who were smart, who had nothing to do, in the sense of, okay, we'll get planting and we're doing X, Y, and Z, but, you know, oh, holy hell, when I ate this rotting rye bread, I trimmed my nuts off and talked to the universe. You know, I think that's probably a pretty cosmic experience. And now you start tuning those reactions and tuning that chemical. Because, you know, ayahuasca is a pharmaceutical. You have to combine the two plants or they don't work. And, you know, that's amazing. And there's evidence they've been doing it 2,000 plus years. You know, I mean, call me silly, but I'd say they probably got that tuned into a proper machine. So yeah, I think that we really don't know shit. And that's where, you know, that's the beauty of real science, is that, you know, we postulate, but when we find out that things aren't that way, or are that way, we accept it, you know. And yeah, I'm not gonna start talking about religion. I refuse. But, you know, I think we have a lot to learn still. And the fact that we refuse to learn, well, and that we let people like Monsanto's destroy and change these plants forever, I think is pretty damn tragic. Because those cretinous bastards will They will screw the plant life on this planet for a buck. And yeah, I can just say, those guys can suck my dick. Oh yeah, well, you know, copy, you can get the Harmala high without a doubt. I mean, that's that bright come on anyway. It's just like that. Well, it's because most people are doing it like ding-dongs. I mean, if you look at how it was done indigenously, it was chewed. You know, they would make like this wad of saliva-laden salvia. And so it wasn't like, and you know, you got to think most of the things that these people are smoking is like, you know, it's like 15 times salvia concentrate and, you know, things like that. No wonder it's just like, you know, it's like, but for the most part, I mean, you know, its indigenous usage was just chewing it. I mean, the same with the coca plant and all of that. You know, it's like, you can take something that's good and turn it into poison pretty damn quick. Because just chewing it's fine. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And water from Detroit can kill you even quicker. Who was it? Who said?
That was me.
Was it you the other day?
Yeah, have we tried asking?
Dave was like, no, we need to start a campaign saying that the water in Detroit is killing our cats and dogs, and watch how quick the white people jump to solve that problem. I know that wasn't quite your phrasing, but.
Well, it was a post. There you go. So hilarious. Like, have we tried this approach?
Have we tried this approach?
The dogs do not have safe drinking water.
The dogs do not have safe drinking water in Detroit. You're going to get a huge, like, PETA rally around it, and everyone will be stoked. And then they'll tell the kids to go home because they're in the way of their protesting. You kids, this is an adult issue. I was peeing myself laughing when he said that. I was just like, what the hell? How true is that? Yeah, you know, if there were a, what was it, high desert rat that couldn't get across the border, there's no way they could build a border there. Do you remember when that farm got confiscated in the mid-'80s? Because the farmer ran over that rat. There was like the albino forest rat or something, and they found it on the dude's farm, and he had run over one, and they like confiscated his farm because of it. Yeah, you know what that was? Somebody really wanted his farm. I bet that was a Monsanto scientist who came up with that rat. Just absurdity. The monkey is a goofy bastard, that's all I know. I sit back and watch and I'm just like, what in the hell are we doing? It's just so bizarre. I don't understand. And like, there's not an ounce of reason left in the world. People have lost their damn minds. I mean, this whole place has lost its mind. It just freaks me out. It's just like, what the hell? And I love it. You go overseas and they're like, oh, you're American. It's like, what about Trump? I'm like, don't even start with me. I had nothing to do with that. Just leave me out of this. My very dear friend keeps sending me all this conspiracy theory shit. And it's just like, dude, I mean, crap's whacked enough. Why do we need to just make it weirder? It's like, just stop. And you know, I don't care who you are. If your conspiracy theorist quotes Tucker Carlson, I don't care who you are wrong. Oh my God. What the hell? I know everyone kept talking about 1984. 1984, I'm like, man, you all need to reread Huxley. Screw 1984, man. It's all about Brave New World. Take your soma. Be quiet. Without a question, truth is so much stranger than fiction. So much stranger than fiction. But I mean, you look at how Huxley talked about media. I mean, when he wrote that book, I think the TV had been invented for what, 3 or 4 years? I mean, it wasn't, you know, there was no such thing as mass media, for God's sakes. Well, I mean, there were movie reels and stuff, but, you know, it wasn't. And man, he nailed it. But in some ways, we can blame Huxley for Scientology too, though. Well, because he bet that ding-dong that he couldn't start a religion. That all came from a bet. In, what's his name, the rocket scientist's house, where they were having all the threesomes and stuff. And it was the woman, he lived in the woman who started Theosophy's house in Pasadena. And they started JPL there too. I mean, you want to talk about truth being stranger than fiction. That whole set during that time was absolutely priceless. They were like swinging occultist scientist. It was rad. Oh yeah, no, it was awesome. Oh man, Huxley had Gibson nailed years beforehand. And don't get me wrong, Gibson at least had the foresight of being able to know that the internet existed. You know, I mean, Huxley, shit, they had just invented the TV and that boy was on top of that crap. And also, slightly different perspective. Why is that weird? Is this like not... Oh, who the hell turned perspective on? Who would do that to me? Yeah, the JPL guy is who I'm talking... Oh, I didn't know there was a show about him. The guy with the... God, what's his name? He has the jet black, like, groover hair. Dave, do you know who I'm talking about? Guy started JPL. He was like the rocket scientist who was a swinger and a cultist, and like he was a big what's his name? The Golden Bough or the Golden Dawn. Yeah, Huxley. Yeah, he's a big Huxley. Or Crowley. I mean, shit. Yeah, Aleister Crowley. I already said Huxley. Yeah, the guy who. What's his damn name? It's called Strange Angel. The show. Is it a series or is it a movie? Is he a groovy looking dude?
He's got a sun behind his head.
That's him probably.
It's like
Jack Parsons. Jack Parsons.
Jack Parsons. That was the next thing.
Yeah, Jack Parsons. Yeah, those guys. Yeah. Those guys were hysterical. Man, I wish I was hanging out.
Sex crazy cultists.
Yeah, no, they were great. I like how just because they were swingers, they were sex crazed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they like to get off. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Leave that poor guy alone. He invented JPL. Mr. Sex Craze, what'd you invent? What'd you bring to our society? The forefather, the Marslander, or some douchebag judgmental journalist? I'm just saying. I have no problems with swingers. So is it a movie or is it a series? Dave, would you do me a huge favor? Yeah. Will you get me some aloe? Oh. I'll have to see if I still have access to what's her name's Netflix. I have to watch that. I don't really watch TV, but I will break my TV rule for Parsons. See, that puts a whole new twist on, you know, there was the Alan Parsons Project. Can we have the Jack Parsons Project? That's awesome. Man, fickle crowd. Fickle crowd tonight, what? Yeah, no, they were awesome. I just love that whole scene because it was like Huxley was involved with them, and then so was L. Ron Hubbard and oh god, what's the other guy's name? He had glasses. It was like that whole batch of sci-fi writers and scientists. It was they were rad. I mean, you know, obviously, some of them turned batshit crazy, but does the series do him credit? I mean, is it good? I love that. It makes me happy that there's a series about them. People should know where this stuff comes from. Cool. It doesn't just make them look like a bunch of assholes, right? I hate like this social judgment crap. You know, it's like, oh, because they like to fuck each other's wives, they were weird, horrible people. It's like, no, guess what? There's some open-minded people that change this world, yeah. That's awesome. That makes me happy. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. It's like my favorite stuff in the world. I hope it's not just 100% sugar, but even if it is, I don't care. It's super good. It's like the Korean aloe drink with like the chunks of aloe in it. Oh, this is great. Do I feel pressure to? Well, no. I have felt pressure to, and not put on by Pixelogic by any means, but like I don't really believe in rendering as a tool for jewelry sales. I think that a lot of people sell bad designs through beautiful renderings, and but when Keyshot got introduced to ZBrush, obviously rendering became something that is now part of ZBrush, you know. And so, you know, just having a blue model and then a really nice piece of jewelry, that's not going to get you on top row. It's not going to get, you know, they can't use that for advertising anymore. They can't. So I felt to keep up with having my work being used to represent Pixelogic that I've had to you know, render and the such. And since I'm on the beta teams, you know, I do use tools that I wouldn't normally use. And what I'm kind of excited by the new education platform that I'm building is once I have the base thing down, I can then really go and explore new tools and some new techniques. And I try a bunch of stuff to get plugins, and you know, I'm thinking about how to change the program to get it to do what I need it to do as a jeweler or a manufacturer. So no, I don't feel extra pressure to use new tools. I mean, I use clay tubes. I mean, I tell my students, you know, and especially with all the alpha stuff, you know, I don't like alphas. I understand why people use them, and it makes sense. I'm not saying that alphas are bad. I'm just saying for me, I don't use them like let's say snake scales. I might use a snake scale alpha to lay in some scales, but I don't know if you've ever seen me stream scales, but like really for the most part I get a wide brush and I lay my scales in like this, right? And there you go. There is your basic breakdown of your scales, right? And so now you just come in and go you know, that scale's actually there, that scale's there, right? And so I prefer to hand sculpt scales. I prefer to hand sculpt things that are repetitive designs, because if it's too perfect, your brain recognizes that. And I'm kind of known for my hand sculpted feeling objects. And so I think that alphas make that too perfect. So even if I use an alpha, I'll go over it completely by hand no matter what. And then this last time with the, you know, all these new lightbox, or yeah, lightbox? No, what's it called? Damn it. Shadow. No, it's Lightbox. Yeah, it is Lightbox though.
Well, yeah, like
But yeah, Spotlight. Damn it. Thank you. I'm like, shit. Mm-hmm. You know, I see people build these guns and stuff out of it really quick and stuff, but it's not how I model. But once I get the education thing up and going, I'll spend a week in Spotlight alone and really just bust my balls and figure out what it can do, you know. So I think it's going to open up a lot of things for me to do, as well as, you know, experiment for the students and see how I can tie that into useful skills for manufacturing. But they're just some of the stuff, you know, like the camera angles and things. I mean, those are awesome. And now with the non-photorealistic rendering, like I'll render this that way, so it looks like a graphic as opposed to a render. I like that a lot. But you know, like UV exporting, nah, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, like I'm a sculptor. I'm not looking for tools that keep me from sculpting. And I think alphas and things like that are really tools to keep you from sculpting. But if you're not a good sculptor, or I don't mean that as a judge, you know, there's just some people aren't sculptors. I think these tools provide incredibly powerful outlets to be able to accomplish designs you want and need without having to develop that skill set. And so in that case, I think they're incredibly powerful tools, and I do use them to demonstrate how they're used. But like when I did a webinar with Formlabs, and you know, I showed all these alpha tricks because, well, you know, for the most part, people who are watching Formlabs are not sculptors. You know, they're people who are coming into it and they're trying to figure out the best way to, you know, what are these shortcuts in which I can integrate this stuff into my workflow for my jewelry shop, or, you know, I'm just coming into this, like, how do I do this and I haven't, you know, learned to sculpt. Well, you know, I don't know if you saw it, you can use all these things. And someone during the Q&A thing asked if, oh, you know, so how often do you use that? I'm like, I don't use that. They were just like, what? And I'm like, I can sculpt. I don't, you know, yeah. It's not a judgment call. It's just, this is what I do for a living. It's the only thing I've ever done. Like we were saying earlier, I was selling my sculpture in 1978, man. This is what I do. So it's been tricky to get my old Kaji attitude to like use alphas and stuff. And like I said, every once in a while, and especially when, you know, it's a job or something and I don't really care about the product. I didn't say that out loud, did I? I literally just said that. That's bad. Shh. No one heard that. This isn't recording or anything, is it? Wow. Like, so in freelance stuff, I might do it because, you know, yeah. Ooh. Oh, holy Hannah. Okay, I was just sent this. Oh, can you see it? Oh, damn it. Someone broke their window, and so there's like a break in the window, and so he got his 2 Dragon Ball Z characters, and the one's punching him up into the window, and he's like, I fixed my window. Here, look. Dave. He goes, I fixed my window the only way I knew how. He put his Dragon Ball Z character in. I was like, all right, that's pretty good. Wow, they're blowing me up. What? My friends at a cannabis convention, they keep sending me pictures of like these stunning pipes. Man, glasswork is cool. I love glass. I got these damn dents. Making me nuts. Bing, 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 bing. That's a beautiful quote. I'd like to hear it again. Except we try to order it by the kilo. Like 25 kilos. 500 grams just ain't gonna do you much. Sorry. Depends on how you trip, my friend. I mean, we go through a lot on a weekend. It's I mean, think about it. 500 grams, if you're getting 3% out of it, is what? I don't know, honestly. It can be. It's 40 milligram heroic doses. Well, I'll tell you this. So Changa, we do a 1.25 to 1. But let's just say it's 1 to 1. I've sat at the farm and smoked 3 grams on my own. So that's 1.5 grams of DMT in a few hours. I don't know, but we can definitely make it. Well, we actually got accused by our community of dealing because they didn't believe we actually did that much. And then one of our participants was like, well, look, just because you're all amateurs, that doesn't mean that we dabble. I was like, wow, shit just got real over here. What? Super funny. Oh my god. No, I mean, you know, if you're gonna go there, get there, you don't hang around there for a while. There's none of this like little pop in, pop out crap. I mean, that's why it's like, you know, people who do a mushroom cap and then decide that they've experienced tripping, you know, it's like, no, that's not how it works. You gotta get in there and get dirty, muddle around. Have a big gold Aztec thing explain to you that you don't get to control this trip. He's sit down, shut up, watch what he has to show you. That was lovely. I love like that. It's like neon Mayan and Aztec stuff. What kind of vlog would you like me to do? You want me to smoke 3 grams of chung and videotape it? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying maybe that's how I could get my viewership? Do like grilling with hallucinogens on Thursdays or something? All right, today we're gonna try 2CE. Woo! I have an odd feeling that the Seattle Police Department would find my house pretty quick. They're like, this jackass. Well, here's my manufacturing facility. Well, here's a video of us coming into my facility. Don't mind the homeless people, just step over them. They're harmless. Right? Yeah, I don't know that I'd be streaming that long. I don't think they let you take webcams in prison. Because I'll tell you what, you want viewers? You should webcam me in prison. Oh my god, that would be... That might turn into a horror show, sadly. I don't think I deal with prison very well. Here, let me rephrase that. I know that I would not deal with prison very well. My eyes. Oh yeah, no, we've made a concerted effort to keep it to be part of our daily life. I mean, it's important. I mean, here, hold on, let's go to Toy Cam. Toy cam. Let's see. Gotta hide that for a second. Where's toy cam? Oh. I'm a ding dong. If you see by the orange mushroom, we can turn that off now. Doo-doo. Well, the problem is, I mean, let's face it. I mean, a lot of people don't actually trip. You know, there are a lot of people who do it. They'll do it for parties. They'll do, you know, these little things. But if you're really trying to explore your place in the universe, it takes work, you know, and it's just like yoga or meditation or something like that. I mean, your ability to learn how to navigate is really a big part of it. And, well, you know, that's not always not an easy thing. And, you know, it's not like we're going out and, you know, these are introspective, you know, it's work. You do the work. And, you know, for the most part, it's good. Like I said, there are a handful of times where you're just like, ay, ay, ay. But for the most part, it's a very powerful, useful, wonderful thing. I almost refuse to believe that that's Tipper. It's because it's not. I like to use planar flatten line here. And now we know those are on the same plane. Yeah, you know, it's tricky. I think that there's so much kind of ego-driven bullshit that's tied into this culture. And you know, when I hear Jim Carrey on a red carpet talking about epic doses of 5 grams of mushrooms, it makes me want to scream, run, and stab him in the fucking eye. You know, I think that, like I said, there's a whole world of absolute stupid bullshittery in some ways, and it's just, let's just all try not to believe that these people are as wackadoodle as they are. I think sorry, I'm trying to find something else. This isn't quite cutting it for me. We'll listen to a little Ill Gates. I was trying to find this Matt the Alien set. Do you know Matt the Alien? Really? Oh, he's...
You should check out Inner Deep TJ Frame.
Who?
TJ Frame.
Frame? F-R-A-N? E?
F-R-A-N-E.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sickness.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually.
I think he just played up here too recently.
Did he?
Yeah, well, in Vancouver.
It's close. Frane's Fantastic Boat Ride. Is there only one track? No, here we go. Oh, I completely believe. I mean, I'll never forget one evening we're sitting by the fire pit and, you know, getting this beautiful pixelation in the fire, and it's doing really great. And I keep hearing this, and I'm like, you know, I'm looking around to see if someone is like, oh no, and now I'm looking back at the fire and you hear, I'm like, what the shit? And so I kind of close my eyes, and there's this huge wall of like these electric Legos that are blue and yellow and pink, and they're going by, and it's sort of like VRs when I move my head, you know, the wall's moving, and I hear, I'm like, oh my god, what the hell? I mean, I hear it that loud, you know, it's right there by ear, and I'm like, and I open my eyes and I look around, I'm looking at the fire, and I close my eyes. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell? And I kind of look down and over, and the wall goes, and there's like this step back, and there's this huge yellow, glowing yellow auger, you know. And do you remember that weird little animal from The Fifth Element that Gary Oldman has as his pet? That sort of weird, like lumpy, goofy animal dude. And so he reminded me of that. And he's sitting there sucking on the auger. And this thing's like, it's sucking on the auger. And he kept looking up at me going, and I just started howling. And I'm like, oh my God. If people could see this, how could you go to war? Because the universe is funny, man. It has some really funny things to share with you at different times. And let me tell you, that was a good one. That was a very good one. But just, you know, how, you know, physically visceral that is, the auditory hallucination being that tangible that I thought it was someone doing it in my ear. It was crazy. And just like, and you know, how can you not love it? How can you not just be like, fuck yeah. Let me see. I don't know if this is, here, let me. This is Matt. But he has some live sets that are just, it's funny, his live stuff is so much weirder than his recorded stuff. He really like lets go when he's, I don't think, all right, let's give it a second. I'm like, it was weirder than hell, yeah, no, without a doubt. But, you know, that's, and you know, that, you know, it takes a lot of chemical to get you to that point. At least and keep you there. And well, a lot of harmless too. That helps that kick around. Come on, Matt. Where's your like? Come on, you. Yeah. No, come on. Give it to me. All right. Yeah. It's so funny streaming and watching people come in and seeing how long they last before they bail. It's very cute. I'm telling you, gotta start sculpting chicks with big boobs or gnarly animals. Or just start doing DMT and barbecue. I guess that might be the Damn it, man, my ankle feels like it's blowing out. And to be fair, it was an auger hugging. I tell you, I want to meet the person at Huffington Post that keeps putting Jim Carrey out there as a contemporary political artist. That crap makes me want to go into Huffington Post and poke someone in the eye. It's like, I don't know who's screwing Jim Carrey right now, but it's like, give me a break. His 4th grade idiotic political drawings getting national press. Screw that guy. I want none of it, Dave.
None whatsoever.
There's so many talented artists in the world who are busting their balls and some 2-bit hack gets pressed. Making me crazy. If I had to choose between him and Mussolini, I'd rather have the real Mussolini than that twat. Oh my god, he gives me ulcers. But then he and I have had issues for a long time. And that's not something to discuss on a stream. I know, haha, see? No, we've just worked together a number of times, and he's not my favorite person in the world. I love that stuff. Yep, the music definitely covers the crazy, doesn't it? We have people yelling in the back alley. I really, at some point, wanted to put alley cam so we could watch the weird homeless people do drugs and poo in the alley. I just haven't had, you know, an extra $150 to buy a camera for the alley. It's something I really want to do. Maybe I should put donation request up. Help me buy an alley cam. I mean, everybody else has their shopping list up. Patreon. What I need to do is...
You have different tiers that you can have people get paid, and you can offer different things.
Yeah, see, that's all just... It's just bullshit. We just need to finish the fucking education thing, and guess what? I'll have money. I'll have plenty of money. And people will be learning. It's a simple thing. You done with that video yet, Dave? I'm assuming that's a no. You know what? I do like Alex Graves' work, and I see what he's talking about, you know, especially in the pattern stuff. But, you know, it's like the and the color tile stuff is very reminiscent, but I don't think it's I think it's interpretive ideas. I don't think it's trying to replicate what he's seeing. You know, when you're trying to take a snapshot of one of the most in-depth kinetic environments ever, I don't think that you will ever be able to capture the environment. I think that it's just too much. I mean, like in the band of the architecture of the web, the moving web, that is sort of like his profiles and stuff like that. So you have this organic, moving, writhing web thing that's going on. And, you know, I can see where that is a loose interpretation of that experience. But I don't think it actually has anything to do with the actual experience. And especially when you start getting into the, you know, the bodies with the veins and all that energy, poopy stuff. I mean, you know, I think that's him trying to explain. That's more allegorical, I guess, than it is representational. But I like the work a lot, actually. I think it's very good. And it is definitely, I mean, you can tell when I say derivative, I don't mean that the art's derivative, but I mean it derived from these specific experiences, and you can see those experiences without a doubt. I think he's trying to develop a vocabulary that's palatable. There they go. We definitely got someone singing away back there. What's funny is that I have contemplated how to, and only when I have enough time to really sit down and do it, I have not had that opportunity or the clear brain space to attempt it. But I think that maybe next winter, if I have the time and energy, I think I will start playing with some of that. And I think some of that will be able to be tied into some of the toys that I want to make. So, no, I have not. I've been contemplating on how to go about doing it with integrity to the representation, I guess. Because it's tricky, it's complicated, it's deep, there's a lot going on there. And you know, you can take a little snippet out of it and see what happens, but I don't think that it's super easy to get to the point where you're representing a state of mind, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's tricky. Well, I think I showed earlier, I was talking about Beksinski. And there's, because what Alex Gray's stuff is missing is motion. or the organic motion that's there. And I really feel that that motion is a huge part of the experience. And I think that there are very few people who hit that sort of, now, completely different visual vocabulary, but who hit the motion better than him. I mean, here, I'll show you what I mean. I think this is one of the most amazing still shot come on, are you really not going to give me a picture here? Like, this is really transcendental motion, you know. I mean, just how he captures motion is mind-blowing. And see how this, you know, is this 1,000 people or is this one person moving through time? And that's sort of my thing. You know, this is stayed, but there's still motion. I mean, where is this? That's not it. Where's the blue? I mean, they're very still, but at the same time, there is time. There's time, and that time is insanely difficult to get, you know. And until I feel like I can capture some of this concept of motion, and that's the trick. How do you do it? That is the trick. Where's the, I mean, you know, look at that. It's fucking amazing. Dude is just outrageous. And once again, the fact that he died over a box full of change is one of the most infuriating things. I mean, look at that. Ah, he's amazing. Truly a spectacular. He's killing it. So, you know, there's sort of that transcendental motion at the same time trying to capture it in this geometric 8-bit video game, golden Aztec, swirly, Mobius loopy mesh. Yeah, it's something. It's something else. But I have some ideas that I am looking forward to wrapping my head around. But like I said, it's going to be, you know, if I'm going to do it, I really want to try to capture it. You know, I'm not trying to be allegorical. I'm trying to be representative. So it's like, that's a hell of a feat to try to take on, in my eyes, because, you know, I hate to say it, but two-dimensionally you can kind of cheat, you know. You could, like, oh well, you know, it only has to look good from one side. Unfortunately, sculpture, you can walk around that sucker. There's a lot more going on. And that's one of the things. It's like when you're in that brain space, it's like you can see all the sides at once. Yeah, that's a sculpture of his flautist. Pretty good. I don't think the hands key together tight enough. That's a tricky piece to try to pull off. I'm sorry. See this bit here? Let's look at the actual piece. I mean, you can see that it's pretty good effort. Yeah, not bad. It's good effort. But I mean, see, there's just a lot more surface tension here. But it doesn't suck, that's for sure. Interesting. Interesting. That's great, actually. I like that. 29 by 18 inches. That might be worth getting. Look at that. That's awesome. There's a bunch of cock on the road. But see, that's the key. It's I mean, the animation could be cool, and I would argue that there actually is some pretty tight animation from like the 20s and 30s that are actually, you can tell that are D&T driven. I mean, without a question. There's a vocabulary of some of the weirdness, and you're just like, oh, you tripping bastards. But you know, as a sculptor, it's not about trying to replicate the motion. I'm really about trying to, how do I capture motion, surface tension in a still object? You know, I mean, if you just take a video, you're taking a video. And don't get me wrong, I'd like to see that video. But, I mean, you know, that's sort of my trip. That's my jam. How do you do that? And like I said, I have a few ideas, but I can't say that I have the answer by any means yet. All right, what do we got here? That's getting there. I have to interweave it a little. All right, what time do we have? We have dead watch time. All right, kind and gentle folk, I think that we are probably going to end this stream here real soon. Just so I can get a drink, take a nap, get back at this tomorrow. I'll probably be streaming tomorrow. Got to get rid of that little notch. I don't have any notches anywhere else but there. I thought I was being cute. I don't think it was very cute. Righto. Thanks a lot, guys, for hanging out. I'll be up and at it tomorrow and finishing some of this stuff. And we'll do some rendering on this tomorrow as well. Get a little rendering in there. Yeah, of course. And we will talk soon, Kiddlywinks. Okay. Now watch.